Hello, mobsters. This is the Boss of Bosses coming to you today with a game update. The game update that we'll be releasing on the 25th of November is making a district considered a turf. So if anyone comes to your city that is not in your family, will then be considered a turf raider and will be able to be whacked. Before this update, it was to be considered a turf. You would need all 5 districts to be considered a turf, and now it's just going to be anytime you have one district in there, you'll now be able to have the consideration being a turf. There are some exceptions. If 2 families are in the same city, they would be sharing the turf, so they would not be able to whack each other. So family 4 had the gun district in Boston, and family 1 had the commercial business in Boston. Those 2 would not be able to whack each other for being in Boston because they'd be sharing that turf. But if family 2 flew to Boston, they'd be turf raiding on family 1 and family 4. So that's one of the exceptions to it. And then the next step is, how do you tell if someone is turf raiding? So we will go to, I already have someone who is flown here. So if I go to test 40, he is in the family 3, and I buy info on him. He's currently in New York City, which if we go back here, this account is currently in family 4, so he is not turf raiding. He is in New York City. We still see the same links as normal. But if I go to test 39, I buy his info. He is in Chicago. And I'm in the wrong city. So let me go to Chicago. Let's see, and take money out. Let's fly this account back to its home turf. Then go to family 3. Click on that. And now we are able to see the whack and arson options here, because this person is currently turf raiding. So we can click on whack, click what weapon you want to use, and click that. So this account missed its shot. Now I'll be sitting in jail. So that's how you find out if someone is turf raiding. You can also, as a capo, they have the abilities to be able to see the airport. So capos can try and get info and check and see. Every time they go to the airport, it'll let them know if they're successful at getting the information at the airport. They will see anyone who's not in that family that is currently in one of your districts or your turfs. So it's really helpful to be active as a capo, to be able to alert your family when someone is there. Or you can buy info on people and check and see if they are currently in your city. So with the changes, not only can a family, if 2 families are sharing a district, they will be able to attack each other, but it'll only be your beat, rob, and extort, and it'll only be once per day, as if it was considered a neutral city. And you will get less of a bonus and less power points for attacking another family that is in the same city as your family. The bonus and the power points are equivalent to what you get when you attack a bot, when you're over the 20 plus stats. So if we go to in here, the whacking. So here, adding in into the player's guide, a turf, what the definition of a turf, how it works, how you go about, whacking someone, And then, so one difference is when you go to war, anyone that flies over to try and kills one of your family members will be turf raiding, and you'll actually be able to defend your own family and try and save their lives by killing the turf raider. If you are sharing a turf, it's considered neutral, so that won't be the case. If two families are sharing a city and they go to war, they will have to just use their 3 sanctions, and that will be all they have. There won't be any turf raiding, so there won't be any killing in that regard. Then if we go to family, and then go over this new note, anytime a family takes over a district, whether from creation, faction creation, a takeover, or an add-on, anyone in that city that you have chosen to pick a turf will be kicked from that turf. So let's go to a different count that's not currently sitting in jail. So if we go, if this is, I just logged into a family 1 account. So if I decided to go and buy a district in Dallas, so say I wanted to buy the explosives in Dallas, if anyone in family 2, 3, 4, or maybe any of the other, like a gang family that hasn't fully formed, if anyone outside your family is in Dallas, they will be kicked to their home turf. So if members of family 4 are in Dallas, when you go and acquire a new district, it'll automatically kick them back to Chicago. Another thing that's in the guide is, go back to that family page, is you can't add a district that you already have one of that type, or if you have a member in that city. So if we go back here, family 1 can't buy any of the other commercial districts in any other city. You're only allowed to have 1 per type. Then if I go and try and buy that Dallas explosives, if I have a family member in that city, I cannot go ahead and buy that. Some of these changes and things are to prevent exploits. So this one is basically like if I had a member that was currently in Chicago and someone in family 4 came online, without this fix of not being able to buy a district while someone's in that city, they could quickly, if they had the capabilities of having, in this case, 4 districts, and they were just saving it, someone gets on and family 4 tries to whack their member, they go and quickly buy the explosives in Chicago, then they would essentially protect their family, because then you'd have your family in the same city, the whack button would be gone because you'd no longer be turf raiding, and you'd be sharing that district. So that's why that's being put in place, is that you can't buy a district if you have a family member in that city if you don't already own it. So in this case, like if I wanted to go to Providence, like I would be able to just go and buy the explosive in Providence because this family already has districts there. And so that's the update. Pretty straightforward, but it's going to be a drastic change to the game. Everyone is now, you have to watch what cities you go to. You're going to have to play the game of, all right, no one's on in that family, and I want to fly there. Now there'll be hostile cities, which also gain you more of a bonus to your stat and more points for power. So it's people seek out attacking people on their home turf when it's considered, a hostile area. So that will be the game. So when you first log in, it's always fun to see who's online and buy info real quick and see if anyone was on your turf while you first get online. If you had no other family members online, there could be a chance that someone was in your city trying to get some easy attacks in without anyone trying to be online to whack them. It's going to make wars more fun. Now you can actually defend your family and protect them in war. You won't have to rely on just the 3 sanctions each day. There could be unlimited deaths at that point after the 3 sanctions. this should really spice up the game. It's an update that's been basically needed since the game relaunched. It was something that was in the game and how the game was set up in beta, and is definitely a missed feature in this current version of the game. To have that excitement of flying somewhere, trying to get your attacks in and flying out, waiting that 3 minutes and counting down the time and constantly refreshing, and that excitement. And then when you go to war, like really have to worry about being attacked and killed and going at the right time. And so looking forward to this change. I hope you guys are as well. I hope this is a lot of fun and brings the game up a notch for everyone. I know a lot of people have been waiting for this and asking for it, so I'm excited to be able to finally deliver this update. And that's it. That's it for this update. And then on to the next updates that I'd mentioned in the last video of what I was going to be working on next. We'll start working on those going forward. Happy Thanksgiving to all in the States who celebrate that holiday. I'll be spending that time with my family. I'm looking forward to it. Today's video code is all one word, all lowercase, and it is let me kill. Again, that is let me kill, one word, all lowercase. All right, everyone. Thanks, and have a great day.